When the last time we looked at a GSE product, our main takeaway was their designers really like geometry. The Emkoo crossover had more edge than your typical origami, but underneath it there was a car that was actually very practical and sensible. Now GSE bought in the Ion, their all-electric sub-brand, and they do things a little differently. This is the GSE Ion V, and yes, that's a V, not a 5. Ion, for some reason, really likes to name their car after the English alphabet, as evident by the V and the other car they bought in, the Y. At the front, there is no massive grille that can double as a mandolin sizer. Instead, you got the Ion badge, 2 LED headlamp with DRL, one of the car's mini camera, and the small grille. Since it's electric, it doesn't need much, with one of the main ADS sensors in the middle. Now, despite being an EV, the Aion V does not have a frunk. You do get a little inlet for your windshield wiper fluid, but underneath all of this plastic panel is a single permanent magnet synchronous electric motor, generating around 100 kilowatt and 240 newton meters of torque. Now, that battery itself is connected to a 75.26 kilowatt hour battery, something GSE called the Magazine Battery 2.0, with the brochure proudly claiming millions sold with zero spontaneous combustion incident, which to me sounds like a roundabout way of saying, yes, this battery does what it's supposed to, but I digress. The official range is 485 in WLTP, if I get that right, scale, but in realistically, you're looking at around 440. Rounding the corner, you got this 19-inch alloy wheels that kind of looks like wagon wheels of the old, lifting the car 166 millimeter off the ground. Opening this door reveals the Type 2 charging port, which with DC charging can fill up the battery to 80% in 24 minutes. But more realistically, the AC charger will fill it up in around 12.5 hours. Finally, the car does come with vehicle-to-load capability that essentially lets you turn this into a giant battery bank for any appliances. Moving further back, you got flush door handle, soon to become a rare feature thanks to Chinese laws. Roof rack, although with the glass roof and our nebulous law regarding its uses, I don't think it's gonna get much use. And at the back, a floating C-pillar with an interesting checker pattern drawn into it. Around the corner, you find the only edgy part of this car, this crease over here. No exhaust, it's an EV. The tailgate itself is powered. There's a rear wiper and this tiny little spoiler. Overall, the design is very inoffensive, downright elegant, if I dare say, something I never thought I would say about a GSE product after reviewing the Enzoom. In fact, the car is so good that Toyota straight up rebadged it in China, where they sell it as the BZ3X crossover. With all that said, let's move inside. Now, the Aion V sold here gets one thing most cars sold abroad doesn't, a 17-inch spare tire. Besides that, you got 426 liter of storage space up top, and you can double it to, well, almost double it to 978 if you drop the second row. Other nice things include a light over here and a 12-volt socket for you to charge anything or run something that doesn't need the battery's amp. That's all about it for the cargo compartment. Let's move to the second row because there's something there I could really use right now. Now, getting into the Aion V's second row, the first thing you notice are these air vents that blows air directly to your face, which is one of the many premium features this car has. The seats themselves are reclinable with this lever down here. The center armrest has cup holders and a little cubby hole for you to store your knickknacks, and up top there is a massive panoramic sunroof. Now, this car has two very interesting quirks. First of all is this tray. Singular because only this side has it. Much like in Bangladesh, people who buy cars in China rarely drive them. So Aion designed this chair specifically for people who actually wrote the check for this car. Beside the tray, there are also a couple of storage solutions in the shape of this tray and a pouch over there. And this is not the fan controls. This is the temperature control for this fridge where the center console should be. Right now we are holding in some water bottles, and I'm going to use one of them because my throat is killing me. Beside the fridge, other nice feature here includes a 9-speaker audio system, ambient lighting, map lights, and one of the most plushest interior I've been in a while. In fact, according to my camera guy, this cabin rivals many of the German luxury buses he's been in. With that said, let's move to the driving position. Now, as plush as the rear seats of Ion V is, the front seats takes it to a whole new level. These seats are not only powered, they are ventilated, and they come with 8-point massaging, which is running right now, and it's amazing. Other nice features include a wireless charger, cup holders, no glove compartment, but you do get a couple of storage hooks, and a storage tray down below with USB port and a 12-volt plug. Now, let's talk about the screen. There are two. First, the 8.8-inch gauge cluster that shows everything you need to see when driving, and the 14.6-inch center screen that controls everything. As you can see, there are no buttons. In fact, if you just want to unfold the ORVMs, it has to be done through the screen, which can get a bit annoying, but the car does have a voice command feature with a rather interesting activation command, which I'm not going to use in this video. Instead, I'm going to press this button.
What can I do for you?
Roll down all the windows.
Okay, open all windows for you.
As you can see, it works pretty well. Now, if you're worried about distracted driving because of the screen situation, this car does have a host of active safety suite as well as an army of airbag, all of which that netted him a 5-star safety rating last year in Europe. With all of that said, let's drive the car. Alright, the Aion V is a modern EV. That means it has a few quirks when it comes to turning it on and off. It doesn't turn off. Not unless it's an emergency. There's a button up top that will let you turn the car off fully, but the company makes it very clear that this is for emergency only. As for driving it, it does have a traditional gear lever, thankfully, but in very French fashion, it's behind the steering wheel as a stock. Pulling it down means you start rolling. Now, as for driving the Aion V, it's very surprising because when you get in a crossover, you expect it to be gradually accelerating, a bit loopy around the corner, but overall comfortable. The Aion V can do all of that, but being an EV, it also has a sport mode that when you put it on and then press the accelerator from a start to stop, it goes. And we are already close to 100. I'm gonna stop. That right there is the beauty of an EV. They're not expensive compared to all the supercars out there, but on a straight line bolt, they can keep up for a few minutes, which for us Dhakalites is more than enough to scratch our performance itch once in a while. However, don't let the straight line speed fool you. At the end of the day, this is a crossover. That means high center of gravity, and if you throw it around a corner, you will feel it. Case in point, now, despite being an EV and a crossover, the brakes in this car is surprisingly great. That means you can bolt as fast as you want, but if you need to stop, you will stop without any issue. But be prepared for some very loud complaint from people behind you. Like I said, this car has an official range of 480 kilometers, which in real life means somewhere around 440, still plenty enough for you to go anywhere in the country. As for how much it costs to fill it up, Crack Platoon, the largest charging network in the country, charges around 19 taka per kilowatt in their chargers, which given this car's 76 or something battery, it will cost you roughly 1500 to fully charge it up. which considering in petrol car that gets you like 11 liters of fuel is a massive saving. Talking about money, what's the price? It's 63. For that, you're getting a car that is way faster than it should be, if I'm being honest, extremely opulent, especially for the price, and has luxury features you expect on a German luxury bird, like the fridge. If all of that interests you, give DHS a call for test drive. That will be all for today. Thank you.